slides. So today we're going to be dealing with distortions of thoughts. Let's take the word distortion first and thoughts. What does this actually mean? That, oh my God, I've got thoughts and they're distorted. Anybody who would like to just talk about it? कोई कहना चाहेगा कि I'm going to be speaking in both the languages, English and Hindi. So it will be easier for both the groups. कोई बताना चाहेगा कि distortion का मतलब क्या है, thoughts का मतलब क्या है, what are distortions and what are thoughts? And today we're going to learn about distortions. We're going to see how we have distortions in our everyday life. We're going to understand how we create our world of reality with these distortions. If we can let go of these distortions, we might be able to look into our life in a different way. And so, once again, anybody knows what are thoughts, what are distortions? Okay, thoughts का मतलब क्या है? So what we think most of the times, and it's got to do with our head, we're thinking with our head, but the reality is we never started thinking with our head. Our first mind or our first brain is actually our heart. So take that down first. Our first brain is our heart. So we have, even before the brain was formed inside our body, we had the heart that was beating in our body. And that heart of ours was telling us what to do. There is an institute which is called Heart Math Institute, which researches around the heart. And it says that we pick up the vibrations of anything that's going to happen around us few seconds before the brain picks up. So let's say an incident is going to happen, kuch hone wala hai, and we've picked up the vibrations of what is going to be happening. And those vibrations are picked up by our heart. And then our heart carries the information to our brain. So there are two brains functioning at the same time. And in fact, if you get into Chinese medicine, they will talk about the gut feel. At times you say, I have a gut feel this is going to happen. So how many brains do we have? Our gut, then we have our heart, and we have a brain which is right on the top. So please write this down. We have three brains functioning together. It's called the gut feeling that I have. I know that if I go out today, my gut feeling is my work will get done. I know things are going to be fine this year. That's my gut feeling. Now, gut feeling is deep down around the navel area. You have the heart, which is picking up vibrations a few seconds before your brain is picking up. And the third brain is your brain. And then there is a research that says that every organ has a brain by itself. So how many brains do we have? Okay, so let's not confuse ourselves. All I need you to know is that when this exchange is happening, we are processing the thought that has come in our mind. मतलब एक thought आता है, हम अपने gut feeling से देखते हैं कि thought सही है कि नहीं, दिल से सोचते हैं कि यार ये होगा कि नहीं होगा, और दिमाग उसके बाद इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Now, what do you mean by how many thoughts are we having in a day? Even when I'm talking to you right now. Just for a minute, think about it. Even when I'm talking to you right now, you are talking to yourself. Will anybody write down in the chat box, what are they thinking to themselves when I'm talking to you? Or you can unmute yourself and talk about it. Shobha, would you like to say what you're thinking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, please.
Ma'am, now, ma'am, I was trying to recall how many thoughts pass through our mind. I was thinking it's 60,000, ma'am.
Yes. And I'm talking right now about you are talking to yourself. And can you imagine of the 60,000 thoughts, you are going to decide what is the thought that you're going to pick up right now and work with. Now, our mind does not see the things that are in front of us the way they are, which means we are constantly altering our reality. We are constantly looking at a reality in a different way. So let's start with Christine. Christine, if you can be kind enough, you can unmute yourself and we can have a little bit of a chat. Thank you so much. So Christine, can you tell us where are you from? I know you did tell us last time, but if you can repeat where you are from. Thank you.
I'm in Seattle, Washington, on the west coast, northwest coast of the United States.
What would your perception be when there is no snow and there is rain?
And there is what?
And it starts raining. It's not snowing anymore. How do you feel about it?
When it's raining?
Yes.
Today I was thrilled it was raining because that made the snow go away. Most days it limits what I do as far as my outside activities. So I welcomed it today. When it was hot, I welcomed it. But for the most part, I have to make my decisions about my outside activities depending on when it's coming and going.
Thank you so much, Christine. And we'll continue with Jaspal. If Jaspal, you can be kind enough just for 2 minutes. I just want to show people something. Thank you, Jaspal. I really, really appreciate. Jaspal, kahan se hain aap? Where are you from?
At this moment, I'm from Lucknow. Basically, I'm from Uttarakhand.
Okay, wonderful.
District Nainital.
Yeah. So, जब आप बारिश के बारे में सोचते हैं, तो क्या सोचते हैं? What do you think about rain?
I feel very good, very
Okay.
happy because
Okay.
एक तो मौसम थोड़ा cool down हो जाता है and basically हम लोग की needs fulfill करता है. हम लोग मतलब farming से हैं तो हमारी जो है yields अच्छी होंगी, खेत में पानी होगा, वो सब अच्छा feel करते हैं इसलिए.
So she's saying that we feel good because we are from a farming community, and when it rains, it means that it will take care of our needs. Now there are two people here who are talking about rain. Can you see how they're talking about rain is so different? Let's pick up one more person. Ruchika, can you help us out? Thank you.
Pakode.
Agar-
Pakode. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. What
Abhi
does
bhi main
rain
lunch-
mean to you?
अभी मैं am have lunch I am having तो पकौड़े और अच्छा सा romantic weather और मेरी चाय.
So she's saying that rain means to have nice hot pakoras, which is a dish to eat, and it means a romantic time, and it means a cup of tea in my hand. Thank you. That's brilliant.
And especially Nasik weather, which is very English and बहुत ही beautiful होता है यार. They become, everything is green around, so it's
Thank you.
beautiful.
So Ruchika is in Nasik, where she's saying everything becomes so beautiful when it rains. Now, thank you so much. I just wanted to prove something here. We have three people talking about rain, but our perception about what the rain will do for us and how we will feel and what we will do around the rain is entirely different. And how does this happen? Which is the real reality? Is Christine's reality the real reality? Is Jaspal's reality the real reality? Or is this Ruchika's reality that's the real reality? The reality, what is the real reality? Yes, anybody would like to say?
Ma'am, all three are right in their own perception. Their perception of rain is from their viewpoint. All three are correct, ma'am.
Perfect. So the perception of the rain is from their point of view as to how they've had their past experiences. So could you make a note of it? Hamare past experiences, our past experiences definitely mold how we are going to look at something. Okay, whether it's sunlight, whether it's rain, this is a very small example that I've taken in everyday life. and we distort our thinking according to what's happening to us. We filter our thinking according to what is going to happen to us. And we presume, like Christine is going to presume, hey, no snow, rain, wonderful, let me go out and I have the freedom today. Wonderful. And because she has that thought pattern, she is going to go out, have a wonderful day, because that's what's going on, a predominant thought in her head. Jaspal, on the other hand, is going to say, Acha, बारिश हो रही है, चलो, very nice, इसका मतलब हमारी खेती बहुत अच्छी होगी. Which means Jaspal is thinking, if, oh my God, it rains, my crop will be very good this time. My people at home will be very happy. That means abundance coming in. That means money coming in. पैसे आएंगे, बहुत कुछ होगा. Then we're looking at Ruchika, who is thinking of, oh my God, it's raining. Let me eat something. Let me have a hot cup of tea in my hand. And how about romance? Now, this all becomes our perception. And we think when we are talking, everybody is understanding us. It's impossible for anyone to know what you're talking about till we do not bring a reference to context. So we'll pick up one distortion and let's see how that is playing out in your life. Is that good? One distortion we will take up and let's see how it's playing up in your life. I would really appreciate if Jyoti, Shushila, Nikki, Swati, Liz, if you can contribute today and be connected, Belaji, Manju, Usha, a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go further. I hope this was of some use to you. And distortion is when we don't look at the same thing in the same way. Let's say if it was red color, everybody's perceiving red color differently. In the same way, सब लोग बारिश की तरफ अलग-अलग तरीके से देख रहे हैं. क्या रे बारिश आई तो क्या होगा? Oh, it's raining, so what does that mean? So let's go a little bit further. So from here, when these things happen, we start cognitively, which means हम सोचते हैं कि जो हम सोच रहे हैं वो सही है. Which means we start thinking, like Christian will say, oh, rain means I can go out. But Ruchika thinks rain means I have to sit inside the house. Can you see the two opposites? And this is now going to create a pattern of thinking. She is thinking like this because someone in her house thought like this. Someone in her friends thought like this. She was probably sitting with someone when it was raining and she was having a cup of tea and she was having a great time. And it was extremely romantic time for her. For Christine, when she was little, probably going out when it was raining was the best thing to happen. And for Jaspal, the abundance meant that if there was rain, that meant crop was good and money would come. Now, these three people are talking together and they are talking from their patterns of thinking. And each one thinks the other person has to understand them. These patterns are not accurate. They can't be. They are subjective. They are not objective. इसका मतलब आपने जो सोचा, दूसरे ने सोचा और तीसरे ने सोचा, उसमें कोई consistency नहीं है. All three people thought differently. Okay, let's go further. I want you to first pick up the first distortion which we use so popularly. It's called the filtering. Imagine I take a pot. Can you see the picture? Yes. Filtering का क्या मतलब हुआ? What does filtering really mean? So I'm taking the picture off. I don't like talking to the picture. I like talking to you. So just imagine that you made a pot of tea. आपने चाय बनाई. What did you do? You either brewed the water on the gas or you put the tea leaves in the teapot or you put the tea leaves inside the strainer and then you put the water in. Now, even when I say tea, 3 people are going to create that tea differently.
Yes.
Okay, so imagine you tell someone who's making a pot tea without brewing it too much on the gas, make tea. She's going to make tea in her pot and get it for you. And you are going to make tea. An Indian is going to make a masala tea. It's going to put it on the gas, brew it, put the tea leaves, brew it, put the cardamom and put all those things and brew it, and doesn't find that tea is tasty without all this. Now, even when a small innocent word like tea, I'm saying, hey, you're going to create it differently. So how can you create life in the same manner? We are expecting our children, our spouses, our friends to understand our world. तो फिल्टरिंग का कैसे करेंगे? इमेजिन कीजिए कि आपने चाय पत्ती को स्ट्रेन करना है, और जब चाय पत्ती को आपने स्ट्रेन किया तो स्ट्रेनर के अंदर चाय पत्ती रह गई और नीचे चाय रह गई. So I'm repeating the same thing again so that everybody understands. If you're making tea, one normal step is to strain the tea leaves out of the tea, because nobody likes to have the tea leaves along and get it in their mouth. So that's a very popular way. You take the tea, you strain the tea leaves, and you put the tea leaves on one side, and you have the liquid that was created over there, which you call tea. Okay, everybody's on the same page with me? Now, metaphorically, those tea leaves are what you filter out of your life. You will either filter out all wrong things that are happening and show it, look, I have tea leaves here. Look, these are all the bad things that are happening to me. Or you will filter out and say all the good things that are happening to me. But we are constantly filtering out. Filter again means passing your life through something and some residue that left behind. You are looking at that residue and calling it good, bad, ugly, nice. You are giving it different meanings, like we gave brain different meanings. Okay, so what are we doing? Are we just sitting with our thoughts? क्या हम सिर्फ अपने ख्यालात के साथ बैठते हैं? Not really. हम उस ख्यालात को जो हमारे दिमाग में thoughts आ रहे हैं, उनको further meaning देते हैं. The problem is not the thoughts. The problem is the meaning that you gave to the thoughts. If you gave it a good meaning, then you filtered a good meaning out of it. If you gave it a bad meaning, then it is a bad thought around it. But you gave it the meaning, not someone else. For someone else, it may be different meaning altogether. So I'm going to pick up a little sensitive topic right now, and I'm hoping that my audience will be very, very honest. So Sujata, give me one line around what is marriage?
It's a trust, ma'am. Trust to each other. Trust and let go. Be happy with the person's choice of what they want to do.
So 3 things she said: trust, be happy with what he or she wants to do, and there was one more. Can you repeat yourself again?
Let go any ill feelings between the couple, ma'am.
Okay, wonderful. Very idealistic. Let's pick up the first one. Let go, be happy, allow the other person to make choices, right? Can we write these 3 words down, please? Thank you. Just write these 3 words in the chat. Sujata, could you please put these 3 words in the chat, my dear? Thank you. Bela, if you can help me over here, what is the meaning of marriage?
For me, marriage is a gamble.
Okay, very good. First one, marriage is a gamble.
I don't know
Your voice is gone.
I said, when you are getting married, you have big dreams, but you don't know what is in store for you really.
Okay, so can we see over here, the second person says, you can't trust the process. It's a gamble. The perception is 360 degrees different. Shobha, would you like to contribute?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Marriage is a compromise, adjustments,
He's talking from experience.
Maybe afterwards retaliation.
Very good. So compromise, adjustment, retaliation. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Who else would like to contribute? Who else would like to contribute?
Anu,
Yes. Yes, Jyotsna.
marriage is a khatta meetha tikha mixture bhel.
She's saying it's sweet, it's bitter, it's this, and she's talking about the taste. Very nice. Okay. Who else will contribute to?
You
Hanji?
don't accept everything. वो
Say that
लड्डू जो खाए पछता है, जो नहीं खाए वो भी पछता है.
She's saying it's that sweet. If you eat, you feel repentant. If you don't eat, you feel repentant. Okay.
It's like an
Wonderful.
onion peel.
It's you know that emotions are there, of course.
Of course, Ruchika. Thank you so much. Yes, who said it's like the onion peel?
Me, ma'am, Parul.
Yes, Parul, tell us about it.
Ma'am, every time when you peel the onion, new things come out. Whether it's pleasant, unpleasant, you don't know what's inside it.
So
And
your view is like
ongoing
Bela's.
process.
Your views is like Bela's, where you don't know what it is, but it's in layers.
Yes, ma'am.
And every layer, that means every turn and twist, and maybe every time that you are connecting with your partner, it may not be the same.
Yeah, sometimes it might be good, sometimes it might not be.
Right. So our understanding of marriage is coming from that it should be consistent and constant throughout life. Yes, our understanding of marriage is coming from what people told us. Motichur ke laddu hai, khaya to bachta hai, nahi khaya to bachta hai. This is a line that I've heard for years to come. It's a gamble. That's also something that I've heard from generations, people speaking about it. Matlab kuch naya nahi hai. This is the way people have been thinking for many years, right? And we are just picking up that and putting it and making it our idea. So when we are picking up certain ideas and making, and all this that you all did was called filtering. Okay, you filtered out what others had told you rather than using your own subjective story. And most of you either said it was good or bad, expecting it to be good for lifetime, bad for lifetime. And Bela, if we were to look at this, that it's a gamble, then we are almost gambling with our life every day.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I agree to that.
But
And I have to add something. I say that, see, man proposes and God disposes is one thing I believe in absolutely recently. Yeah, started. Because when you start out your day in the morning, you plan so many things, and then you see that everything is going, something else is only happening in your life. Nothing is going as you planned. Because there is some power, which I believe is just turning and twisting things around. Sometimes things do go your way, but at many a times they don't go your way at all.
wonderful. Can you hear in vocabulary her way and their way? The gamble is whether the person will go her way or his way. That's the filtering that you're saying. If somebody goes your way, then it's great day, yay, including the universe. But if somebody does not go your way, then it's And if we had our way, we would never have snow. We would never have rain. We would never have a husband. We would never have marriage. We would never have unpredictability. The opposite of gambling is unpredictability or the predictability. So when we are thinking in our head, कि मुझको तो predictable ही चाहिए. I want my husband to be predictable every day, right from the day one to day end. That's not possible. The weather is not predictable. Yes, Bela, go ahead.
I'm not talking about where my husband is concerned. I'm talking about, see, now for the last 2 days, I am alone. My husband is not here with me. Even then, things may not go as I want them to go.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say, Bela. This is not about your husband.
Yeah.
This is about your life in general, where you are filtering out that, oh my God, things should go my way. If things don't go my way, then even God is angry with me. If things will go my way, then oh my God, everything is fine. This is your filter. And we are all using different filters. So just become aware, and it's brilliant to become aware. And I know you're such a mindful, beautiful, sensitive person. Every time I talk about something in my head, I become aware of it. And from awareness starts the change. We need to understand things cannot go according to how we predict. It's not possible. Because one thing that's constant and consistent is change. One thing that's not constant and consistent is predictability. And yet we are thinking settling means predictability. Jaspal, kuch kehna chahenge? Sujata, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I want to say, if our mothers have to write our future, our life, there would be no sorrow in them. If our
Yes.
mothers to write our life story.
Okay, Sujata, I want you to now bring this to yourself. Say the same sentence with yourself, okay? If I was to, you're a mother, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now say that whole sentence by taking an onus on yourself. If I was to
be a mother for my children, I would write there will be no sorrow in their life, ma'am.
Is that possible?
Even if there is sorrow, they will have the strength to face it.
Sujata, is it possible that you will never and your children will never ever have sorrow in their life?
They will have that, but they will have the strength.
Thank you. Now again, that's your filter. Like Bela's filter was that she wants things to go her way. Beautifully, Sujata, your filter is that my children, there are so many children across this world, but my children must never face sorrow.
But I have children from my heart too, ma'am.
1 minute. And everybody else gets it, and that's how it happens. Just 1 minute. Just be mindful and take this in. My children should never feel sorrow. And if they ever feel sorrow, they should have strength to cope up with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Sujata, how about extending it now and saying all the children in the world, whether it's you, me, we all have faced sorrow in this world.
Yes, ma'am. I have not my physically born. I have children like who accept me as their mother. But then this whole world I should start doing now.
Not just that, Sujata. What I'm trying to get at is, why are we not accepting sorrow? Why are we only accepting and talking about sadness? If our prominent thoughts are around sadness, what we will create is sadness, not sorrow.
Like, ma'am, I'm not saying we don't accept it. Like we are walking. Suppose we are walking or driving or anything. Something happens between. We try to jump over that obstacle. We try to find a solution and move on in life.
Yes, Sujata. Hear me back again. Has anybody got what I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
Yes,
should be
yes,
sorrow, ma'am.
Christine.
There should be sorrows.
Just hear others out, Sujata. Just for a minute. This is really important. Yes, Christine.
What I'm hearing is she's saying what she would like.
Yes.
That is impossible, but she still would like it. As we all have things we would like, but the
Yes.
recognition that it's impossible.
Yes.
Otherwise, if we want no sorrow, we have to go lock ourselves in a closet and not have any life.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What I am saying, ma'am, is there is darkness and day and night. So a sorrow should be there to know the value of light.
You can know the value of light without sorrow also. And look at how the metaphors you've used. You've used sorrow with no light. Sorrow can be with light
Absence
also.
of light. Absence of light.
Absence of light is not sorrow. Absence of light is night.
Darkness.
There are many, many countries where there is no sunlight, but people are not sorrow all the time. It is the mindset that we have created. Our filters are so strong that no matter what, we distort the reality. And right now we are distorting the reality, Sujata. Your thoughts are beautiful. And like Christine said, you want it. But it's like Christine saying, I want rain all the time. Or I want sunlight all the time. Or I want to be young all the time. Or I want the marriage to be predictable all the time. We are asking for things. हम वो चीजें मांग रहे हैं जो हो नहीं सकती. We are asking for things that may never happen in our life. And we may be unhappy because those things are never happening. We are praying to God and saying, please make it happen. Please make it happen. I prayed from morning to night. It still hasn't happened because that is not how
life is a journey or a walk, or life is it has like a candle burning. The candle has to burn and finish off. That is what life is, I think, for me, ma'am.
Okay, that is life for everyone, that they will come to an end of their life pattern. But Sujata, the main thing is, we are asking in our marriages something. We are asking in our real life something. Like Jaspal saying, oh my God, it should always rain. That would mean there would be crop. That would mean there would be abundance. That's never going to happen.
You should let it go, ma'am. That is what I was saying.
We have to, you're brilliant. You'll sit down and you will get it. And you're an extremely mindful person, and I know you've got it. It's our resistance that will keep stopping us from accepting it. We still try hard. No, but I prayed. No, but I put modak in front of God. But then I also rang a bell in front of God. He should have listened to me. I starved for so many times. He should have listened to me.
Acceptance of rejection is also acceptance, ma'am. Okay. It's not acceptance of everybody should accept my idea. Like
everybody. So it's not about everybody. It's about us.
Marriage is about husband and wife, ma'am. I'm speaking here. If the husband wants his way, then the wife should not be a hindrance. Or the wife wants a way, the husband should not be a hindrance.
Yes, according to whom, Sujata? According to whom?
According to their compatibility, ma'am.
According to who are they compatible?
Not to the society, to themselves, to each other.
According to who? Even with each other. What is compatibility? Half the people don't know what's happening in the bedroom.
Yes, ma'am.
They look like a perfect family outside, 2 children smiling, hi honey, hi sweetheart. And then they go home and they're in 2 different bedrooms. They don't even talk to each other. Compatible according to whom? We are filtering images in our head and saying, this is how it should be. The minute we get out of that and understand, that is filtering. We are filtering everything in our life. Has everybody got this? Even if you get one distortion, your life will become better. Become mindful of the sentences that we are using. Yes. Okay. The sentences that, Bela, do you want to say something?
To say that life has to be accepted as it is, whether it is good or bad. And we have to learn to, adjust to everything.
Thank you, Bela. I'm getting to the next distortion, which is black or white. Good or bad?
They're colors, ma'am.
Nothing
yeah,
like that.
One minute. Let me get to the slide so that you get a better idea. And thank you for bringing that up. I am really grateful. Now, we're looking at the second distortion, which is good or bad. Please write this down. It's really important. Good or bad, black or white, 0 or 100%, complete success or utter failure. ये 2 हिस्से हैं. ये गोरा, ये काला, ये अच्छा, ये बुरा, ये 0%, ये 100%, ये तो बहुत सक्सेसफुल है, ये बेकार है बिल्कुल. These are how we talk. This is called black and white thinking. And Bela so beautifully picked it up and put it in my lap and said, look, life happens. We don't have to think whether it is black or white, good or bad, but that's what we do. And that by itself is a distortion. हम कोई भी चीज को, anything that is happening in front of us, we want to give it a meaning. And how do we give it a meaning? By giving it colors, by calling it night and day, by calling it success or failure. So I'm going to ask you to say 2 sentences about yourself. Who will talk about themselves and say, I am like this. Not for me, for yourself. Dispal bolenge? Hanji?
सच का भांडा, रुचिका, सच का भांडा.
Sach ka bhanda.
Yes.
What is truth? What is lies? Again, it's a question mark. What may be truth for you?
बहुत बारी फंसती हूँ मैं. सच बोल दिया, एकदम सच, blatant सच, और then I am, taken for.
Ruchika feels that because she speaks honestly, very bluntly, she gets into big trouble. The question that you need to ask yourself, truth according to who?
Loving and kindness, ma'am, and forgiving.
Sujata, according to who? I want you all to pick up 1 sentence, write it down in the chat right now about yourself. 1 sentence about yourself, who you are. Like, in the primary sections, we are asked to write, I am, just 2 sentences. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ruchika says, honest to the core, okay? Christine says, I'm kind and compassionate. Wonderful. Shobha says, Jaydev says, somewhere between 0, we can't reach 100%. Okay. I'm confused and confident. Okay. So let's start with Ruchika and then go to Christine. Bela says, I am honest, happy, frank. Okay, let's start with Ruchika. Ruchika, could you please be there? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Okay, can I spotlight you, please? Yes. Okay. Ruchika, when you are honest, it's honest according to who? How do you know this is honest and this is lies? And that's exactly what we're talking about. In distortion, we think our way of thinking is absolute truth. How do you know that's absolute truth?
Because ma'am, जो मैं बोलती हूँ उससे उल्टा असर होता है, rather than diplomatically saying अभी
1 minute, Ruchika. The question is, how do you know this is complete 100% truth?
Because अभी जैसे भाई आई थी, I could have stayed cool कि 10 बजे. I said कि 10 बजे के 11:15 हो गए. So rather than saying and creating a huge as it is, she's a dominating person, वो चिड़चिड़ करने लग गई. I went in the other room. I could have said कि मौसी आप लेट हो गए, खाना लेट हो गया. I do intermittent. But मैं वो I come up with that, and she is of the nature कि वो मेरे ऊपर चढ़ जाती है. So it's always, now we are okay.
So there are 2 things in Ruchika's story. One is, if people are dominating, she doesn't know what to do. A, she looks at the woman and thinks that she's dominating, and she may be. The second is that she came late, her maid came late today, and her food went lower, and the honesty is that she was late. Is that what is the honest about it? Ruchika,
no.
What is the honest part of it?
Honest part is कि मैंने सुबह से कुछ नहीं, रात से 8 बजे से कुछ नहीं खाया होता. So I told her, she said कि मैं आज 10 बजेंगे, 9:30 की बाजार. So I said, okay. Then 11:15 तक I had my soup garam करके. Then I started warming up the old food. Then she came. Then I confronted
Thank you.
her.
Stop, Ruchika. Stop, Ruchika. We'll lose the whole meaning otherwise. Yeah. I want you to see something. And thank you so much. So Ruchika is saying that she starved, she does not eat anything after 8 o'clock in the evening. So the next day morning, she expects her maid to be there in time, and she did not come in time. So the truth is that Ruchika's meal got delayed. Is that correct? Am I getting the picture correctly? And that's the absolute truth, that Ruchika's meal got delayed. Now, what are we doing? We are dependent on the maid and saying, oh, because of you, my meal has got delayed. Right? And because I'm paying her and she needs to be there in time, and I understand that. I'm not taking out your fault or anything. I'm just trying to understand the situation. So the thing is, what is real honesty? Did she really want to delay your meal, or did she get delayed? We don't know. I'm going to take Ruchika off. So there is a lot. Bela, everyone, life, no, Abhi, I had old, but adjust what to extend.
Ma'am, I'll say, yeah, I can't comprehend like that. I'll say, every time she's, that is coming from her upbringing, that she, starts shouting at me, and the whole people all around keeps listening. So that is offendable to me. Ki politely also she could have said ki haan unke 15
Thank
roti
you.
aur thi to I got to,
Yes,
yeah.
Ruchika, brilliantly said. How about understanding that Ruchika is saying that honesty is that she's not talking to me properly. She's talking to me in an offensive manner. And that is what Ruchika did not like. I just want you to become aware. Huh? There were 3 stories that came up. And this is for Ruchika also and for everyone else. When we start talking our truths, if this is not enough, we bring up another thing. This is not enough, we bring up another thing. If this is not enough, we bring up another thing. The point is, Ruchika is not happy because she's getting spoken to in a certain way, which is a common factor that's happening everywhere. People are not speaking to her in a way that she wants to be spoken to. Is that correct, Ruchika?
Yes.
Yes. That is her honesty. That she is the common factor and everyone around her is speaking to her in an unkind manner. Now she's calling that people speaking in an unkind manner as rude or whatever else. And she is thinking either they are wrong or she is wrong. So what is the game that we are playing of polarity here? Wrong and right. Because according to her, she is polite to everyone. Then why should they be rude to her? Is everybody getting what I'm trying to say? We get stuck in our stories. What we really need to find out is, why is Ruchika facing the same kind of story from everyone? Why is most of the people talking to her in a manner that she's not happy about? If we don't do anything about that and keep constantly looking at, oh, this is right and this is wrong, we will never sort out a problem. This is a distortion. This is a distortion where we are constantly looking at what's right, what's wrong. And I often see people caught up in this distortion forever, ever and ever. They need to be right all the time. They need to be, I say this, it's better to be wrong but happy than to be right and so unhappy. Because there is nothing called right and there is nothing called wrong. Let me give you an example. A woman, and I was staying in Czech Republic in a place called Praha, as they call it. And behind my husband's office, there was a nude beach. People would come there in summers, women and men would come there in summers, it nude, take a swim and go off. I love the faces. Bela, I just stay with that face. Just stay with that face. She can't even comprehend it. Thank you. And how would they go? There was a tram station right next to it. where they would just throw a small shrug on themselves and get into the tram with their two-piece bikini. Because you're not allowed to be nude on the tram. For an Indian who is clad in a Nauvari sari or in a sari, where layers and layers are used to cover us, and we are conditioned in that form, for us, someone walking nude is completely unheard of and wrong. But on the other side, if you stand there and look at them and ogle, they will call it wrong, because for them, that's a very normal affair. So I hope I'm trying to get at the point that we think something is right and something is wrong. Why go to Praha and outside the country? I went to a small village in India, jahan pe this girl was wearing no blouse on the top and a very short sari, and her pallu was used to cover up her possum on the top. For someone like me who had never seen it, I looked at it and said, oh my God, this is new. So I want everybody to come to this understanding, and please write it down. When we see something new, we consider it wrong or right, depending on our filters. And we live our life with our loved ones, making their life right or wrong. Whatever is wrong in your space, you just are not open enough to accept it. And so it's easier to put a label of wrong and walk away. Does that make any sense to everybody? Yes, Christine, please come ahead if you want to share something.
No, I'm saying I understand. And what came up for me was how the word I would use, which is used a lot in the United States, is judgment.
Yes.
Immediately there's a judgment.
Yes.
Which I've realized as I've aged to be at the age I'm at, and what young people do versus how I was raised in the United States. I have to look at it and go, wow, that is very different from, and the way young women dress is very different. So that's why the judgment is what came to mind when you said, when we're confronted with something new that we're not used to.
Absolutely. And instead of just thinking and looking at it and saying, oh my God, that's just another way. That's just another way of doing things. And maybe if I looked into it, like technology, how many people made technology wrong? How many of us have made so many things around us wrong and then got caught up in the trap of judgment? It's just a trap, guys. थोड़ी सी आंखें खोल के अगर हम ये देख लें कि कुछ भी गलत नहीं है, कुछ भी सही नहीं है, उसके मुताबिक वो सही है, हमारे मुताबिक वो गलत है, क्योंकि हमने ऐसा वाला कभी देखा नहीं. It's like trying a new dish. If I was to give Christine a plate full of spice, it may be wrong for her. But for Sujata, a pickle, mango pickle with a lot of spice may be right for her. But we are making judgments and limiting our experience by bringing polarized black and white thinking. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I want you all to, I'm going to recap what we've done.
1 second, ma'am. Can I?
Yes, Sujata.
Yeah, feeding a child in public is not, like you said, nudity. Yeah, that is a thing in so many countries. It's happening. Skinny dip and all that. Skinny dip, they call it. So that feeding a child, how far is a woman liberal or has the freedom to be out in public and feed a child, ma'am?
Sujata, for everything, and you're absolutely right, anything that is new is going to raise eyebrows. Right from the beginning, when we said, oh, the earth is not flat, it's round. Do you know how many people said that's wrong? They said that's not possible. You know how many people outside our country think Indians do not know how to speak in English? Do you know how many?
Even
Yeah,
so many
it's-
countries, like kissing couples are not seen banned in so many countries. So many countries accept it.
Yes, Sujata, in so many countries, a woman getting beaten up on the road or in front of everybody is not considered wrong. Aggression is accepted more than love. So these are norms or rules that were created by our community, by our cultures, and we are nothing but conditioned souls. And from that conditioning, we are trying to see our world. And if we can be aware of our conditioning, we might expand our world and have a better life. So I'll just repeat what we have done. We've picked up 2 different distortions today. One was filtering. We filter everything that is coming in our life and we give it a meaning. We give it either the worst case or the best. How many of us Indians think going outside the country and earning over there is the best thing? Oh, man has arrived in life. How many of us have glorious view of Bollywood or Hollywood? Oh, if you are there, you become in life. You've really arrived. You're glamorous, so you must never be down to earth. We have so many judgments going on in our head. And then we did black and white, which is 2 polarities. And do you know at what age these polarities start? Right at the age 2 in your life. Because you're told constantly, no, yes, good girl, bad boy, my nice bacha, you stupid. And we are constantly the mirrors for our children, for our spouses, for the world around us. We are saying we will accept only if everything is according to us. If anything goes beyond our level of understanding, it can't be like that. So I will reject it, I will shun it, and I will move ahead. Or I will accept it, and make it too sweet. There is no balance. What we need to create is, we are meaning-making machines, and we need to be aware of that. And our meanings are creating our reality. So we have last 2 minutes left, and let me take you through the last slides. I hope you enjoyed what we've done today, and it has given you some way of looking at. So there are a lot of, so today we spoke about distortion specifically too, and I hope that you will be able to let go of a lot that you've been holding within you, and you can create a new world around it. We've constantly lived our life. 1 hour session like this.
Ma'am, we
It's
need
not-
more like this, please.
Please put it in the suggestion box that you need more.
This is to be continued because it's so many loopholes you can find again to discuss.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sujata. I just want you to become mindful before standing there and becoming black and white, right and wrong, good and bad, 0 to 100. These are terminologies that we use so easily without realizing we are into the judgment zone. So thank you very much for today. You can watch the recorded class of today. You can find related classes by clicking on explore, and you can keep the conversation going in the lounge. I also want to make you aware that my next class will be on coming Thursday. And on Thursday, we're going to be talking about pets and role of pet, our role as pet parents. And I'm getting in an expert on that day because I'm not an expert with animals. So she's a very dear person who works with animals. I've never seen anyone love animals like that. She's just rescued a little kitten, and She has two of them now, a male and a female, and she's been talking about like they're her children. So she's a beautiful person, Aarti Desai. She will be there with me on the coming Thursday at 11 a.m. And we can talk about animals and what's our role as pet parents. And it's no different from you having a child. Okay, then we are going to be meeting on Saturday for 2 different sessions. Saturday morning at 12 o'clock, we are having art and color psychology, where I will be bringing to you, even when someone is drawing something, everything has a meaning. And drawing is a very nice way of going into the subconscious level. If you can, for that session, draw just a scenery and bring it, it would make life much easier. Just draw a scenery with crayons on an A4 size paper and bring it. It doesn't matter what you've drawn. Just use crayons. Do not use black and white. Do not use pencil. Do not use pen. Just a plain paper, A4 size, a scenery, a landscape. And in the evening, we are going to be working with air dry clay to create something to help us with our mental balance. And on Sunday, we are going to be having sound therapy at 7 o'clock in the evening. So this is how our week is going to go ahead. And I hope you are excited about the next classes. You can check your email and lounge for the notes, and you can give the feedback, because your feedback is extremely essential and it helps me to navigate what is it that you really want. And if you really want these classes to go on further, please suggest that, yes, you liked it. Share your experience of today's class and hashtag #GetSetUp, @GetSetUp, social@getsetup.io. You can also host an interest group. If you feel like hosting an interest group, please contact help@getsetup.io. I repeat again, help@getsetup.io. I really am thankful for all of you and your contribution. Thank you so much. And
Ma'am,
see you
I have
again.
a request. I have a
Thank you.
request. Ma'am.
Yes, Sujata.
On first, we had this rainbow neurographics. No, ma'am. I lost the recording. If anybody can send to me, I'll be grateful, ma'am.
Okay, so you've all got her requests. If anybody can send to Sujata the class recording, it would be
On
brilliant.
first. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Anu,
Yes.
Anu,
Yes,
could you
Christine.
tell me about the air dried clay, what that is? So I could buy it ahead of time?
Air dry clay, you have a brand called Jovi, which should be available on Amazon. You can pick up white clay or terracotta clay or gray clay. You can pick up any color that you like. I will be teaching you how to create articles which you can actually gift. And it will be a great fun class to be in. And all the materials are written in the passage where you can go and have a look at the class description.
Okay, I
Yeah,
will.
it's for everyone. Please buy air dry clay. It costs about 200 rupees in Indian money. And I think it should be a whole tub, a small 500 grams should be roughly about $5 to $7. And we don't need anything else. Just get that, and you can pick up caps from home, just the small lids of the size that you want to create. And we'll create one stuff so that you can gift it to your friends. I utilize it to constantly create the rubbish in my life into something new. So thank you so much.
Anu, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Anu,
much. Yes.
how do you say thank you in Hindi?
Dhanyavad.
Say it
Shukriya.
again.
Shukriya.
Sukriya.
Shukriya. Yes.
Sukriya.
Yes. Wonderful. That's so beautiful.
Sukriya.
Yes. Thank you.
In Hawaiian, I used to live in Hawaii. Mahalo. Mahalo.
Hawaii says ahoy. And yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Good night and good morning, everyone. See you.